We often get asked what a sport-specific warm-up is for throwing. We try to integrate throwing and throwing activities as much as possible into our warm-up. We start very basic. We've gone through already with him today. This is Nicholas, by the way. Baseball player, how old?
16.
16, you can see the size, already shaven. So with Nicholas here, we've kind of already gone through some marching warm-ups, some lateral marching, high knees, we've gone through some hamstring scoops, and we've got a little bit of a general warm-up, but really we're looking for general preparation work followed by sport-specific preparation work, and we're gonna go into some of that sport-specific stuff before we actually get into throwing. So what we got him here doing is he's going to go into what we call our pitcher push-off. So he's going to go into a lift. He's going to dynamically push off, get his chest forward just like he's in the throw. Now you see when he goes, he's trying to get his chest forward, giving a few reps down and then coming back. You can go for a couple. Loads into the hip, then he's loading that front leg. Now we might work on some things here in terms of getting him out further, just like what he does when he throws. So he might load, stick the landing with the leg back. So that's what we do coming back. Just like, same thing, right-handed pitcher. Good. Now, the better that he can absorb load and restrain against forward progression of his pelvis, the better. So we want him to be really stiff on the front leg. Give me one more rep here. As stiff as he possibly can on the front leg, that's going to transfer better to the throw. So we'll give him maybe 12 reps of this, 6 on each side. So let's try the other side now, lefty. Obviously it looks a little different. We're trying to get it as symmetric as possible. Now coming back, left-handed again. And then we're going to actually take him into what we sometimes utilize with athletes, which is our actual throwing sock. This one was homemade by my mom, actually, who's a seamstress, but it's a Velcro strap. You can actually buy a similar product on Oats Specialties. Baseball's in there. There's a strap in here that's going to hook around his fingers, and then we're going to actually tighten this down on his forearm, not his wrist, and he's going to go through some throws. And then this is actually going to be a better warm-up for his rotator cuff than a lot of the other more traditional band exercises that we do. And I'm going to have him start at about 40%. So you can go this way, right from a position where we're working on approximating his lever arm, so getting him in closer to his center of rotation. And then he's just going to step and throw. Let's go 40%. You see how this is actually on his forearm. We'll tighten it down a little bit. We don't want a lot of moving parts here. We want to keep this as stable as possible on his wrist. Okay, flip around so we can see. So we're trying to reinforce things we've already worked on in his throw. Keeping that ball in close. We'll give him 10 reps here. So no leg lift here, just a slide and go. Good. Once he gets to 10 reps, then we're going to move on to another one where we're going to work on core stability, and we might go through this twice. In fact, we already did with him once. So we'll go through this kind of progression 2 times, almost as a mini circuit. You can see he has to work hard to slow his arm down. Keep that ball in close to your head. So it's an easy way for us to start to work on throwing mechanics before we actually do work on throwing mechanics in the gym here. Okay, I want you to go a little bit faster in the last 2. And then flip around one more time so they can see you go away from each other. Okay, now throw it like you're throwing it at the get fit sign there.
This way?
Yep. Good. So this is something we can utilize in our workout as well. A lot of times we're doing isolated exercise. Sometimes we can implement some of this stuff. The ball hitting the end is going to increase the distractive load on the shoulder and the elbow, which is going to make the rotator cuff work hard. And because the shoulder and the body is anticipating an additional distractive load at the end of the throw, he now has to turn on his rotator cuff a little bit sooner at the end of the throw. That was a really nice one. So now we're starting to get his arm ready, so when we actually go in there and throw, it's already more efficient. So you can pop that off. Now he's been using a little bit of this today, but we got our Chaos bag here, Aqua bag. He's going to take it up, and he's actually going to perform some thoracic or trunk rotation at the same time that he begins to tolerate and accept more load on that front leg. So he's going to start with one leg up. So there's a single leg balance component, which is working the lateral hip. Now he's going to go right into it and turn and go. And he's got to hold that until the water stops sloshing. I like him to hold it for maybe 2 seconds, sometimes 3. Good. For someone his size, he's starting out with this one. We probably have about 20 pounds of water in here, would be my guess, although I've never weighed it. More difficult rotating to the right, you can see, is a little bit more proficient to the other side. Turn that chest farther. I really want you to turn. Press and go. Quick. And I'm trying to speed him up on something like this. Nice. So sometimes we're just trying to speed up. Make it go a little faster for me, bud. Good. That's going to be a more challenging, but also more beneficial exercise. If I can get 6 reps per side, that was an effective warm-up, effective exercise. If he can do 20, then we need to up the weight, up the instability in the exercise. Maybe he's standing on AirX pad. Maybe we're just going to go heavier with the implement. For someone his size, he'll be moving up to a heavier, larger implement with more ability for the water to move around pretty soon. Good. So now that he's done this, we did some general stuff. Really, we don't have to do a ton more than this. You can see, turn around here, on the video, we got a little sweat here on the shirt. He's pretty warmed up. We can take him in here and throw, and he's going to be ready to go. We've got his shoulder warmed up through a couple sets of 10, so 20 into the pitching sock or the throwing sock here. He's got some shoulder stabilization work overhead and throughout the range in here. And then we've also worked a little bit plyometric as well as core stability through this and then through our jumps. So that's just one way in which we might sequence a sport-specific warm-up for somebody who's a pitcher before they go out there and throw or before they work on their throwing at practice. If you like this video, make sure to hit thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Nick, for being on.
Thank you.